Cavill.
Good morning.
See, I already got it right. And Bill Herring.
Hello.
And they are both from the Indiana Players, who have a holiday production coming up starting next weekend. And I have to admit that if the title doesn't intrigue you to check into what this play is about, I don't think there's anything that will. It is called A Very Mayan Tricksmas. Dave, would you like to explain?
Well, I would rather the people just come to the show and see it
Okay.
and then get the explanation. But, yeah, this is a play that I wrote over the summer, and I am currently directing it, and Bill is one of my cast members, and a very good cast member, I should say.
Well, thank you.
But 2012, it's supposedly the end of the world, according to the Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
And December 21st is going to be the last day of their calendar, and that calendar has been ticking for 6,000 years. So if that civilization was still around, it would be a very interesting day for them. So I presuppose that those gods have decided that it is the end of the world. And at that time, you know, it's right around Christmas, so we have elves and all sorts of gods coming together to, you know, duke it out, as it were.
What inspires you to write a play like this?
What inspires me to write a play like this? Well, obviously it was the timing, end of the world and all that kind of stuff, and the Christmas time play. This is really what I thought was, you know, I love movies from Pixar or those kind of things where it's, all right, maybe it's a kid's show, but it's also something that young adults can come see. It's also something that families can come see, and everyone will get a laugh at different points, or maybe at the same point on different levels. And that's really what I strive to do. And some of that was, you know, I got lucky because I got people like Bill who can improvise some amazing things and make some great animal noises, I might add, if you want to try it. Yeah, that's one of the ones I don't like.
Yeah, you won't be hearing that in the show. I didn't want to give any of my noises away.
This
so.
is your only chance to do that noise, right?
Yeah, that one was nixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that, I mean, you don't have the Mayan calendar predicting the end of the world every year, so you hopped upon a very unique opportunity here.
Once every 6,000 years.
That's right. So what is the premise? What goes on?
Okay. The premise is we have a young couple who go on a Christmas honeymoon in Mexico, and they get under the pyramids, and their hotel room gets invaded by two gods. And these two gods they get invaded by are young, immature gods. It's the god of pranks and the god of chocolate. And once the hotel room gets invaded, then the god of pranks, her mother comes in and is very distressed about the state of affairs because her dorm room, so to speak, is trashed. And she sees the humans and decides that, oh, we have pests. So she sets a bug bomb. But the humans are the bugs. And so now these two honeymooners have to go on an adventure to, you know, stop or convince the you know, head of the pantheon, as it were, that humans are worth saving. And to do that, they enlist the help of Santa's barber and his elves. And so they go on an adventure to save the world. And Bill actually plays the Earth Spirit. Zapakna, which I took a lot of liberties, but the names are real. Yeah, he plays Zapakna, and I don't want to give away the surprises, but he's got some good ones in store because he's quite a fun character to play.
So there are surprises.
Oh, there are tons of surprises. Tons of surprises.
This takes place at the Philly Street Theater here in Indiana. And
yeah, well, I should say this is the Philadelphia Street Playhouse. Oh. And we used to be in the building with the big marquee, but we have moved since then because they put offices in.
Yeah, you're in the 700 block now. Right?
Yep, 725, which is right across from, like, the Pita Pit.
Yep.
And, yeah, show dates December 7th through 9th and the 14th through 16th. The Friday and Saturday shows are at 7:30, and we have Sunday matinees at 2:30.
And a lot of information is available on your website, indianaplayers.org. Is that correct?
Yeah, or .com. That's fine.
Oh,
and also, also Facebook, and you can also order tickets through the Facebook site or our website. And I will say that kids' tickets are half the price of normal tickets.
Can you get the tickets at the door?
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Yep, so the doors will open at 7 o'clock, and the show will start at 7:30. So be there ahead of time to get your tickets.
Sounds like a great fun activity for the holiday season and to kick it off. And Bill, talk about what you do in the play and acting and why you like to act.
Oh, why I like to act? It's a great creative outlet that I only discovered 2 years ago. You know, I can't sing, I can't dance, you know.
I think you can dance. No, I was in the show that, his first show, The Nutcracker, and he can dance.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's a great creative outlet for me. I have 3 children. I like for them to see me doing creative things like that. I believe that it influences them in their own lives and creative outlets and helps them to not be frightened to do things in front of people. And I've made a lot of friends, a lot of really, really good friends, which was one of the most surprising things to me, is that, you know, in my 40s now, I'm making some of the best friends that I've ever had in my life. My character is a Pachna. It's the spirit of the earth. It's a really fun role. Dave has given me some liberties to, you know, try things. You know, some things he cuts out, which is great, you know, which is fun, which is exactly what I want a director to do. And just let me go and then say, pull me back.
So you have good director, bad director, right?
Yes.
Yes. No, Bill.
Yeah, I'm very.
Try something else.
I'm very well. It's not even that. I'm very lenient. I don't put the switch to him too very often.
Well, I need a director that's honest. That'll say that's too much. That's not enough. They give me a basis to work off of, a frame to stick within, to be creative within.
Even at this level, very similar to what you hear actors talk about in major productions, the relationship between the director and the actor is so important.
Yes.
Dave, have you written other plays besides this one?
Well, nothing that's been produced, I'll say that much. But, yeah, no, every year we do a one-act festival in the spring around the end of March, early April, give or take. And the last 2 years I was in plays that were locally written, and that kind of inspired me. And Brett, I don't know if we can say his last name on the air because he doesn't like that.
He wouldn't like that.
But he's done 4 or 5 plays for the Indiana Players. And
Mysterious Brett.
Yes. Yeah. But everybody knows who he is. If you've been around the theater, you know Brett's plays. Because he always puts tons of local references in. Jimmy Stewart Mystery, Policy and Procedure, a very Philadelphia Street Story is another one. Yeah, they're all, you know, classic, you know, I want to say like 1940s kind of comedies, you know, Katharine Hepburn, Jimmy Stewart kind of stuff, is really what it feels like in terms of the style of the plot, but he puts local references in and modernizes it, and the kind of stuff that, you know, once again, it's kind of family-oriented, I kind of want to say. Re-emphasize that it's a family show, but there are levels of humor on this for everyone. Oh, yeah, for mine. I was talking about Brett. Brett also. Yes. Usually. And his play is actually coming up next in January.
Yes.
And he wrote, it's a little bit more serious.
Yes.
He's kind of turning the corner on that and, you know, maturing as a writer, which maybe next year I'll try and do. But anyway, the one acts, you know, I'd have to do a little bit more serious drama, but the one coming up for Christmas is definitely a fun Christmas show.
Do either of you have acting as a background in education or anything like that, or are you just doing this because it's like we weekend radio people here, we're all just radio junkies. Most of us don't have any formal training. We just always had this thing about radio and being on the radio, and that's why we do it. How about you guys? Is that
oh, goodness, no. But that's interesting because all these radio guys like you have these radio voices, and I don't know how you train in that. I found that most people do not like their own voice when they hear it, you know, coming from some other source like me. But, yeah, sometimes. Oh, I know I don't have a good voice, but I love the sound of it.
Yeah. Really
I could listen to me all day.
Yeah, before I started with the Players, I had zero theater experience at all. It's actually a pretty fun story. My daughter wanted to try out for the Nutcracker. She was bugging us all the time. So finally I said, yeah, okay, we'll go down and try out. And, well, she would try out. And so we got there, and the director says, who's trying out? I said, my daughter is. She says, what about you? I said, no. And she said, well, we need men. You have to try out, too. Mm-hmm. And that was it. Yeah. You know, and now it's 2 years later.
The bug bit you, and you caught the disease.
And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great. We're very fortunate to have this resource in our community. You have a nice playhouse to work out of at 725 Philadelphia Street. We're talking to Dave Cavill and Bill Herring, members of the Indiana Players, about a Very Mayan Tricksmas, a play that starts at the Playhouse next weekend. It runs December 7th, 8th, and 9th, and December 14th, 15th, and 16th. Information, ticket prices, ticket sources, all that is available at indianaplayers.com, and we'll talk to the guys a little bit more right after this short break. Stay tuned.